Well, good morning, almost afternoon. Welcome to my kitchen this morning, almost afternoon. Um, we're going to take a trip south of the border, south of the Rio Grande today. You can visit almost any country in the world, any culture in the world from your own kitchen. You never have to leave your house. It's just recipes, it's food, it's strudel, it's stromboli, it's pizza, it's naan bread, it's Italian bread. Today it's going to be tacos. We're going to go south of the border. This is a very simple, easy recipe, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Nothing wrong with tortillas from the store, other than the fact that they have a great deal of stabilizers, for staying on the shelf longer. But like I said, I use them all the time. So, the ease of those, the fact that they're not that expensive, but you can make your own and you can make them yours. You can do, right before the holidays. I actually made some with spinach and sun-dried tomatoes. I believe they were sun-dried tomatoes. I could be wrong. And then olives. I do want to try that again, but not in this. This is just a plain base tortilla recipe. And the recipe that I pulled out is not the one that I used prior, but it's close enough to use. It's going to be 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and in this is 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I'm sorry, scratch that, baking powder. And then a heaping teaspoon of salt. Kosher salt is calling for. But I've got the pink Himalayan fine ground salt. I really like the flavor of that. And then I'm using Crisco shortening. It calls for either lard, butter, other fats that you're able to use with this. But I prefer the Crisco. And there's 5 tablespoons in here. And then depending on the recipe that I usually use calls for a cup of warm water. This calls for 3/4 of a cup. So I'm gonna go with this recipe and just see exactly how it turns out. I don't want a duplicate of what happened with my blondie recipe. And Andy's barking at the squirrel. Fred's out there. And for those of you that don't know Fred, that's our local squirrel that lives in our magnolia tree in the front yard. So I mix this up pretty good. The recipe is saying to put this in your food processor. Now, you can do this by hand very easily. But with my situation, many of you know that, I've lost a lot of use of my right arm and my other extremities. So I have to depend on, other methods and means to knead and mix and things like that. My hand kneading is out of the question. So with that being said, what we're going to do, we're going to pulse the dry ingredients, which is your 3 cups of flour, your salt, and your baking powder, not soda, like I want to always say. I don't know why I do that. Everything has to be baking soda, even though I know it's not. Okay. So we got everything in there. We're going to pulse it a few times, and Andy's going to bark. And then we'll get this mixed up and then add the Crisco, 5 tablespoons. Okay, and I know we're going to mix it up, Andy. I know. For some reason, that's the reaction I get from the dogs whenever and they know when I bring the food processor out. So here we go. What? I know, Andy. Here we go. Here we go. I know. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so let's go ahead. Is that funny, Andy? So what we're going to do is put the Crisco in there in pieces around the bowl of the food processor. We don't want it in one lump. So it just incorporates a little bit easier. Now, when I made this before, I did make it by hand. That was some time ago, and I still had more use of my arm than I do now. Now, it's like gone. This disease is a crappy disease. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and here he goes again. I'm going to do it again, Andy. We're going to pulse this again until, fine, like pea-size fat of the Crisco is going to be incorporated into the flour before we add the water. I know, Andy. There he goes. Sorry for all the noise. Okay, let's check that. Okay, Andy. Oh, yeah, that's good. See? You see that? See that? Okay, I'm going to take my tube cover off, and we're going to start putting the water in. Now, I'm gonna do this like I would my pie dough and my biscuit dough. I'm going to drizzle it in until a ball forms, and then the recipe's saying, and I've never done this before either, but we're going to follow this recipe. The recipe says for 30 seconds you want to do until that bowl clears the outside of the bowl. So here we go, a little bit at a time. I know, Andy. Yeah, that speed isn't too bad, is it? Okay, let's let it go a little bit. What do you say, Andy? Huh? What do you say? Take all of it, guys. Let me turn my stove off. I've got my cast iron pan warming up in the back on the stove now. It's looking pretty good. I may add more water. I don't know yet. I don't think so. I think we're going to be good, guys. It always seems like the worst case scenario when I do this. No, we got a bowl. So it's saying now once it has ball size, you want to do about 30 seconds. So we're going to do that. Because if you were doing this by hand, you'd be kneading it for up to 5 minutes. Food processor doesn't take that long at all. And everything's clearing the bowl. And you need a good food processor to do this or you'll burn it up. That's it. There we go, guys. See how it cleared the bowl? See that? Oh, it's nice and warm, too. And the dreaded clean the food processor after use. One of my dreaded jobs. I don't like to use it. Okay, let's get this guy out of the way. Get all this stuff in the sink. Now, what we're going to do is flour. You see this okay? Flour our board. Some all-purpose flour. There we go. Not a lot. You don't want to get a lot of flour in your dough. Oh, it does feel so good. We should be able to get 12 tortillas out of this. Now, what I've done in the past when I've made this is I would do it in a large, like a pie shell, and then do like triangles out of it and then roll it up. But this does not say to do that. We're just going to put it in snakes, like a snake, and then cut it into pieces about 2 ounces. If you're going to weigh it, they should weigh about 2 ounces. It's a very pliable, nice dough. See how that goes? Yeah, I mean, just from your kitchen, you can visit any country you want. So today we're going out to the Rio Grande and across and visit people there. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna start taking this out. Now what I'm gonna do, so it's just easier, I'm gonna take and put that in half and put that over here for the time being. We're going to roll this out and make 6 balls out of it. The only way I can do that is by breaking it in half. Do 6 and then 6, and we've got our balls, and then we're going to let it rest for about 30 minutes. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I grew up in the military. My dad was in the Air Force, and we traveled all over the world. I've been everywhere. So I really developed a love for all cultures and all people. People are the same wherever you go. Maybe a different color. They may be a different religion. They may look different. They may act different. But inside, we're all the same. We all have the same deep desires, dreams, wishes, and hopes. Okay, so we want to get 3 out of each one of these. So I'm going to do 3. And we're going to, I have a little pan here that we're going to set these on like so. Do the same here. They don't have to all be exactly the same. I mean, go ahead and weigh them. I mean, if that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. But, you know, I don't mind having a large tortilla and a small tortilla. I'm going to do the same thing here. We want to get 6 out of this. Now, the reason you want these to rest, some people say 15 minutes, others say 30 minutes, some people say 45. But I find 30 minutes to be the sweet spot with these. Okay. I'll put them, you see my pan? Should we put them in our pan here? These little plastic bench scrapers. You have to forgive me sometimes with my speech. Ever since, you know, I had brain surgery for the disease I have. And so it's like being, having a flash drive in your computer that's been scratched. You're constantly either searching for a word or you know what you want to say, but you can't get it out. That's what I deal with. So bear with me on that. That's just something I have to deal with. And there's a lot of people that deal with that regardless, searching for words. Okay, I'm going to cover this up. We're going to let it sit and rest. It's not rising. It doesn't have yeast. We're just letting the dough rest, just like you would a pie dough. You want that structure to loosen up so that when you roll out your tortillas, they're going to be soft and pliable and not want to spring back. So let's just set these over here. And we're going to tell Alexa, set timer for 30 minutes. We'll have Alexa remind us when 30 minutes is up. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up my mess. I've already got my cast iron skillet ready to go. I've got a plate with a damp cheesecloth. You can use a towel, paper towel, whatever you have, plastic. As long as it's damp to keep your dough soft and so that it doesn't dry out. I've got that ready to go. And then I've also got one of those dry for after we do the tortillas and they're done so that they can stay warm. So, while we're down here at the Rio Grande, grab yourself a margarita, and when these are done, I'll bring you back. Okay? So while the dough is resting, I thought I would show you our final, well, actually Sam did it, I didn't, table. I like to think of my furniture as rescues. Some of them I get in terrible shape. Now, and then, you know, it takes a while for us to get around and get motivated and get them sanded down and refurbished. Well, this is our last table. I have a thing for tables. I have tables all over my house. But look at this. You've seen it before in some of the videos where I had a scarf on top to hide the dings. But it's simply stunning. It's that Frombies that he did the other antique table in. But look at this. Even the nicks look good. Some of these were like really gouged, and now they're all smoothed out. I told him to leave a lot of, you know, not try to make it perfect, because we wanted the table to tell its story. Where it's been, who's touched it, from its conception to living in our house today. I love this table. It was actually from a home here in Solavita, and it was given away. I put lights in the bottom. My elephants are in there. See that? And then I have my Mexican pottery from Claire's over at Precast and Gardening Depot. I love it. And the the cover that I have on the back of my sofa here, I keep everything covered because of the dogs, of course, you know, the hair and all that kind of thing. But my dear friend and neighbor had gone to Italy a few years back, and she brought this to me. It's actually, you know, a scarf. You wear it, you know, wrapped around your neck and on your shoulders. And of course, in Florida, when it's 200 degrees in the shade, I didn't need to do that, but I absolutely love it. It's a Monet print on the front and the back side. See this? So that's how I display it. And also these birds, they are stunning. Oh my goodness. I also bought those from a home here from next door. Just look, not these. These are mine and are like 50 years old. But look at that. It's one of my favorites, a little blue jay. Okay, so I thought I'd show that to you again. The finish on this Sam used is called Frombies, I believe. So if you're having issues with any wood, you know, he can do it, and a few minutes later it's done. Of course, I let it dry overnight just to make sure it's good and dry, but there you have it. Okay, well, let's go check on our dough. Alrighty then, I hope you enjoyed your trip down to the Rio Grande. Actually, we're still there. I did a little test tortilla, still hot. Here it is. Came out fine. Now, temperature-wise, now this is my little cast iron skillet that I use for like to seal tortillas, panini-type sandwiches that I don't want to bring the panini press out for, and so on and so forth. But they recommend cast iron. I've used aluminum. It works fine. So let's get on the show here. Put just a tad bit of flour down on your board. Take your little dough ball out. I always start mine out like so. Squish it around. And then flour Now they recommend when you roll these, go middle, forward, middle, back, not all the way to the end. Turn this down a little bit. Turn it, do it again, do it back. Now I'm doing this slow right now, just to show you, if you can see that. Forward, and then towards you. Turn it, go forward, towards you. Now don't expect to get everything round all the time. It's not going to happen. Even when you buy them in the store, they're not totally round all the time. So we're going to do this. Then you can't, the tortilla presses are fine for corn tortillas, but not with these. They just don't get them thin enough. So the recommendation is to roll them out. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to put it on our pan. It's going to shrink up a little bit. And while that's doing that, I'm going to start another one. A little teeny bit of flour. Press in a little bit to start your circle, like so. You're going to see these bubbles start to form here. See that? Forward turn, forward, backward turn. I flip it over, forward turn, backward turn. Flip it around, forward, backward. Same way here. Very nice dough. Okay, now some people like to pop these bubbles as they form. I just leave them because it's going to flatten out anyway. So let's flip it over. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Let's get our next one ready. This looks like it's going to take on the shape of Texas. Oh well, I guess they all come out the same, right? Okay, let's see what we're doing here. Oh yeah, look at that. Hot. Ouch. So put them in this little place here to keep them warm. And now we're ready for our next one. Now, temperature-wise, I've got this. Now I'm using, of course, you see an electric stove. I started it on medium-high. That seemed a little bit too much smoke coming because it's a dry pan. The only oil in here is from the tortillas. So I turned it down. It's sitting about 4.5, which is like medium-low, I want to say. So here's your bubbles again. See your bubbles? Let me get you down here so you can see. Okay, let me get you down here so that you can see this a little bit better. There we go. See, look at that big bubble. Flip them over. There we go. Start our other ones. I'll do a couple more so that you can see what I'm doing. See this? On the surface. In the middle, up and back. Not all the way to the ends. That's the way you do a pie dough, by the way. You know, different cultures, you know, we don't realize it, but, you know, when America was settled, we were settled by everyone all over the world. And with that, they brought their dishes. So, that's beautiful. Look, guys. So it makes me wonder just what is American cuisine? Because it came from somewhere. So we are truly, food-wise, a melting pot. There we go. That one came out more of a circle than anything. I'm doing better. It takes about 30 seconds to do one of these from beginning to end. Do another one. I'm going to take that, squish them around. Very soft, very easy to work with. You're going to start in the middle, go forward, start in the middle, go back. Start in the middle, go forward, start in the middle, go back. You don't want to go all the way to the end, to the edge, because then it goes down to a real, to where it's real thin. And you don't want that. You want it to be more even. And just keep doing that. Now, I am not, perfect at these. I don't do them enough. And I should, because they're so easy. Here we go. Look at the bubble. Look. Let's flip them over. See how quick they cook? That one looks like Virginia. We are going all around the country, aren't we? There we go. Okay. One more, and then I'll go ahead and cook these up. And then bring it back. More. Okay. A little bit of flour. This dough, by resting, helps it a lot. It just relaxes. It doesn't spring back. Like I said, you can find your own little sweet spot with the way you want your dough, as far as how you mix it and prepare it, to the way you or the amount of time that you rest it. I've even put it in the refrigerator before when I haven't had time to finish it up. Oh, look, I almost got a circle. Oh, that one's pretty. Look at that. I'll do this one, and then I'll let you go put your feet in the waters of the Rio Grande, and then bring it back when they're all finished. Yes. Okay, well, I'm done. We're back from no, we haven't left the Rio Grande yet. We're still there. These are fantastic. And yes, I've been nibbling on one. But let me show this to you. I've got it covered up with one of my cheesecloths that I've doubled up. You can actually get these little tortilla warmers. They're just like little pocketbooks made out of cloth. They're ideal, but I just don't make enough of these to do that. However, I might. But let me show you this. They're still warm. Actually, they're still hot. Look at this. Hey, Andy. Hot. Hot. Look how soft they are. Look. Look. You can wad them up. Look. And fold them up. Can't do that with a store-bought one, can you? You know what? I think I better taste this again. Let me just roll it up. Oh. Just plain. They're good. Oh my God, they're wonderful. Hey, Andy. That took all, forget the resting part, because you can let just 10 minutes with those, but we let it go a half hour. That took all of maybe 12 minutes to make a dozen of these. When you get them in the packs at the store, you get 8 or 10 of, this size. And they range in, depending on the brand, they range in size or in price from $3 to $6. Now, you can make these. Uh-oh, Andy, your cat on? You can make these and put spinach in there, olives, cilantro, any herbs, any spices, anything, and make it your own. Whatever your family, likes. Now, one thing that just I always think about, food is an international language. It crosses all bonds, all barriers, all waters. And it just does us justice to be able to cook and bake recipes from all over the world. So I just want to bring that up in this conversation to say that to me, it's the thread that holds the world together is our need and our love of food. So with that being said, I want to close this out and I want to wish you a great day today. And I want to I strike that. I want to wish you a great day today, as well as take care of yourself, your friends, your family, and your loved ones. And please check on your neighbors because you never know what goes on behind closed doors. Thank you for visiting me today.